Fox News is technically sort of criticizing Donald Trump on obstruction. You're gonna watch the video, you're gonna immediately see that it looks a little bit different than their normal content, but here is Judge Napolitano talking about obstruction of justice.
When the president asked his former advisor and my former colleague at Fox, KT McFarland, to write an untruthful letter to the file knowing the government would subpoena it, that's obstruction of justice. When the president asked Corey Lewandowski, his former campaign manager, to get Mueller fired, that's obstruction of justice. When the president asked his then White House counsel to get Mueller fired and then lie about it, that's obstruction of justice. When he asked Don McGahn to go back to the special counsel and change his testimony, that's obstruction of justice. When he dangled a pardon in front of Michael Cohen in order to keep Cohen from testifying against him, that's obstruction of justice. Why not charge him? Because the Attorney General of the United States would have blocked such a charge. Because the Attorney General of the United States is of the view that obstruction of justice can only occur if you're interfering with a criminal investigation of yourself. But that's not what the obstruction statute says. And that's not what law enforcement believes, and that's not what prosecutors do. Prosecutors prosecute people who interfere with government functions. And that's what the president did by obstruction. Ordering them to break federal law to save him from the consequences of his own behavior, that is immoral, that is criminal, that is defenseless, and that is condemnable.
So that was good. Two quick things I want to mention. I like that Fox will technically allow you to criticize Trump, but you have to go stand on the street to do it. And two, that segment is it's judges' chambers. It's literally the only content they make that's not in a chamber. It's outside, but they let him do it, I guess.
It's better than when Fox and Friends goes outside. I remember when Pete Hegseth threw an axe and hit someone on the other side when he missed.
That seems made up, but it's not.
But that's a real story. Anyway, look, Judge Napolitano has been honest about this. He's very conservative. So, and then he'll say other things that drive me crazy. But that's okay. That's if you're a conservative and I'm a progressive, we're going to disagree. But he's been honest about these legal proceedings. And that's why Trump can't stand him. So now we go to Trump getting super mad, right?
Exactly. So Trump, actually I think it's part of the video. So we're just gonna go directly to that. Trump has a pair of tweets attacking Judge Napolitano and the judge responds, sort of.
Thank you to brilliant and highly respected attorney Alan Dershowitz for destroying the very dumb legal argument of Judge Andrew Napolitano. Ever since Andrew came to my office to ask that I appoint him to the US Supreme Court, and I said no, he has been very hostile. Also asked for a pardon for his friend, a good pal of low ratings, Shepard Smith. Judge, good to see you this morning.
Good morning. And then this is the way you treat your friends. How do you treat your enemies? Oh boy. Look, I thought the president's comments were brilliant. He wanted to divert attention from what Mueller had said about him and what I had commented about Mueller to his relationship with me. His relationship with me is not the story. He and I have been friends for 30 years and probably will be for the next 30 years.
But why?
Yeah, look, in a sense, you could argue there are no winners here because why are you friends with him? And he could turn around, Trump can, and this is a rare quasi-defense of Trump and say, well, you said I obstructed justice. What kind of a friend does that? Well, the kind of friend who's honest because you did obstruct justice. So then that leads to the question, well, was Trump honest about asking for a pardon for a friend and asking to be on the Supreme Court? Well, Napolitano says, no, he was not honest about it. Yeah. And so do you have the quotes there? Okay, so I'll explain. So Napolitano says, look, on the asking to be on the Supreme Court, I didn't do that at all. And what he asked me, and this was apparently right after he won the election and before he became president, he said, look, who do you think should be on the Supreme Court? And Napolitano says, he said, Neil Gorsuch. And Trump said, yeah, okay, Gorsuch. And why? What do you like about his qualifications? Apparently Napolitano said him, and then Trump said, well, that sounds like you. And Napolitano's like, no, I'm not saying me, I'm saying Neil Gorsuch. And he's like, okay, well then make a case for yourself. Now, hold on now. Napolitano then does make a case for himself. So I don't know if Napolitano was like pulling a Dick Cheney, right? I got this guy you'd really like. He's doesn't have much of a forehead. He's on Fox News a lot, right? Oh no, it's Gorsuch. I don't know what you're talking about. It's Gorsuch. So I don't know. Maybe it's not like Napolitano's an angel. Right? He's been friends with Trump for 30 years, etc. But who do I trust between Napolitano and Trump? Come on, that's a no-brainer. And the Washington Post just said a little past 860 days in his term, he just broke the 10,000 barrier. Trump has said false or misleading statements 10,000 times. He started in the beginning with 5 times a day, then it increased to 8 times a day. It is now, in the last several months, 23 lies a day that Trump says. So
that's a check, by the way.
And Napolitano gained some credibility by saying, no, when he asked me to list why I should be on the court, I did list it. Okay, so then you figure out who you believe in that. In terms of the pardon, he said, no, he asked me about a mutual friend, and I said, don't pardon him. He was actually guilty. He's like, I don't like that answer. Tell him I'm gonna pardon him. So that's just a flat out lie by Trump in regards to Napolitano.
Well, when Napolitano, when he just says, if this is how you treat your friends, what are your enemies? Trump has shown who he is. I mean, everybody who he's gotten rid of, double-crossed, turned on, he's done this to. So why does Napolitano think, oh, he did it to me? That's like being a Kardashian, right? And wondering like, my man is cheating. Well, he was cheating with you when you got him, right? He was with somebody else when you got him, and now he's cheating on, because that's what he does. So for him to say this, it's like, well, yeah, this is what he's done with everyone else. Why do you think it wouldn't apply to you? It's ridiculous. The other thing that it's really getting funny in these Trump tweets are the nicknames. Like low rating Sam Shepard, and I don't know if you remember, there was a sportscaster on ESPN named Chris Berman, and he used to come up with these great nicknames for players. Like there was a guy named Blylevin, and he'd call him Be Home Blylevin. He would just come up with these hilarious nicknames that worked with people's names. And this is what it's becoming with Trump. These nicknames are becoming, that's the funniest part of the tweet. How much time does he spend making sure he puts that in? Like I can never say a name without putting in some little insult or something.
Yeah, no, he takes it very seriously. In fact, Natron means business. That's another Chris Berman nickname. Anyway, so listen, one more thing. Alonzo's 100% right. How could you not see it when he did it to everyone else around him? Michael Cohen, his personal attorney, now he's turned on him 100%. And now you can say, hey, listen, Cohen gave evidence about him, so maybe that's a special. No, but guys like Jeff Sessions, who was the first guy to support him, risked his career in the Senate to support Donald Trump. And then Trump, just obliterated him. Why? Because he wouldn't break the law on his behalf, and he wouldn't, and he recused himself and wouldn't illegally protect Donald Trump. So Napolitano, what do you think? You were going to give honest analysis and show that Trump is wrong on some issues, and he wasn't going to hate you, he wasn't going to turn on you? That's what he does with everybody. And the last sucker at the table is the guys in the red hats. They think, oh no, Trump will turn on everybody in his business interest. He'll go bankrupt 6 times just to say, ha, you were stupid enough to give me money, and my business, the way I run it, I don't pay you back. Right? Now, if a homeowner did that in 2008, they'd say you're a bum. You have personal responsibility to pay that money back to the bank, right? When Trump does it with millions of dollars, they're like, genius, way to screw over people. Then he screws over everyone that supported him politically. And he screwed over everyone who gave money to his foundation, everyone who went to his university. Those 2 things are disbanded now, and he had to pay money because they were all scams. And you think the one guy he's not gonna scam is the poor son of a bitch who voted for him, that he doesn't know at all and doesn't care about? No, you're the last sucker at the table. So when you turn around and Trump has caused a disaster for you nationwide and for you personally, you're gonna say, like, this is how he treats his friends? Exactly. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.